kid asked me what I credited all my luck to. And it was really quick and easy. I would say it's failure, right? And that's kind of contradictory to our Air Force mission that it's excellence in everything we do. Second place in the profession of arms is death. So I get it, like we have to win, but we have to embrace failure too. So there's a certain level of acceptance and just failing forward. So I look at the young airmen and I remember being there thinking, man, this guy shut up, it's almost beer 30, but this is for you, okay? I graduated boot camp, and I remember I went to apply for my first job at Family Video and Creve Court, if you've ever driven by there. Had an academic test. I failed it. Right? So I was really excited after tech school. That really pulled me down. And I applied for the senior NCO course 7 or whatever. Guido, you and I both failed it the first time. So finally passed it. And then I studied for the AFOQT. I wanted to be a fighter pilot. Watched Top Gun way too many times. I'll credit that to my dad. But you know, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. Got 300 hours as a private pilot. Went and took the AFOQT. Failed. And you don't even have to guess twice what section I failed. It was the verbal. Okay? You need a 15 to pass. Anyone in FSS, you can look this up afterwards. I scored a 13. Okay? Mathematically, statistically, I should have got 20, right? There's 5 options. So you can't take that test for 180 days. Meanwhile, life kind of changed, so I pivoted, followed my passion with cyber, and I still have aviation at the heart of me, but that was a course change, right? So then I go to tech school. I'm super excited. Man, I loved Keesler Air Force Base. Get 100% on block 1, 100% on block 2. I am just cloud 9. Failed block 3. It was a practical cyber offense, something I had been practicing at home, backtrack, if you remember that before Kali Linux. Failed, and what happens in UCT is if you fail, you wash back, right? And then if you fail again, you wash out. So I remember walking home that day, I was like, what am I gonna tell my wife? This is my full-time job too, right? So I bucked up, made sure I passed that, and you know, that really caught my attention. Then I went and took the CISP, which is a pretty big prize on the cyber nerd front, and I failed. And I had to wait 6 weeks for the results to come in on Scantron, if you guys can Google that afterwards. But it really hit me hard. So I studied for 12 months, and I said, I'm gonna learn this as well as I can to teach a class on every bit. And I studied for 12 months, went and took the test, and the lady's like, you want your results? And I was like, no, I'm waiting on Scatron. I cannot do this. She's like, no, we print it off right now. And it might be in that building's surveillance cameras, but I did a cartwheel. I passed it. And I remember when I went to the bathroom, because it's a 6-hour test, 3 hours in, I went to the bathroom. And I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, maybe I'm supposed to be a plumber or something. This ain't working out. Did the same thing with the CCNA, not as hard of a test. Failed it the first time. And then decided to go to grad school, which is kind of funny if you know me, because I like skipped school all through kindergarten, so I really did sneak out. But academics aren't my strong suit. Went to get my master's. Probably watched the movie Rudy too many times, but I shouldn't have been there. And I take my first paper, and I get an F. I failed my first paper. And it wasn't so much the failure of the paper, it was what the teacher wrote on there. She said, this is the most underdeveloped thought process I've ever seen. That stung. Okay? I found out later that was a weeder course, and they were just trying to hit you right out the gate and see who was going to stick through, right? So those are just things that had grades and measurables, right? I failed a lot more. Failed people, failed my fitness. Never a fitness test, by the way, but I failed my fitness. If you go to Alexander's in Peoria, you'll see my fat face on the wall. You've seen it? 250 pounds. I was fluctuating weight like Oprah, but I could always get it down fast. Try not to do that anymore. But yeah, failed people. I learned a lot through the failures. You grow through what you go through, and like I started out at the beginning, don't be scared to fail. Like, I get the excellence thing, you're not going to get there until you fail. So you fall 54, you get up 55. But ask yourself, like, what are you failing at this week? What did you fail at today? I'm just as far from my dreams as you are from yours. I still have big dreams. I'm just getting started, and I got to fail my way there. And some of the failures are a little bigger. They're, going to impact some more people, and that's going to suck. But, embrace that. That's kind of your journey. So let your stagger be your swagger. That's all I got. Thank you for coming.